It's your boy, Gackt Cognac, back with another video. So, Metal Jesus forgot to put me in the video. The question is, how do I feel about physical games versus digital games, especially for a collector who generally wants physical games in their collection, you know? And yeah, it seems like eventually we're gonna fade into more of digital realm of gaming because, you know, it costs less for the publishers and all that stuff, and at the same time they can just put it out instantly. So the drawbacks about it, like everyone has says, is like you don't really own your game outright if you actually have the digital game. So if they decide to pull that off the shelves, that's it for you. Whereas digital game, at the same time, you actually own it, and there's also value to it. You can't just go to GameStop or go to eBay and sell a digital game. Like, what are you gonna do? Have the game downloaded on your console and then sell the entire account? Like, that's the only way. So whereas I could just take each individual game, I can sell that and get my money back, especially if I didn't like the game or whatever. So that's a lot of people that collect. They see more of the monetary value to the game. At the same time, they like having it, especially like your old school cartridge games and all that stuff. You know, it's preserved. So otherwise, I'm on, like, what you say, I'm 50-50 about the whole thing, because I've done a lot of collecting, right? I got a good amount of games. Like everyone says, I got enough games to last me a lifetime and then some. I could come back 10 times and still probably won't finish the whole backlog. So if it goes away, whatever, it's fine with me. I don't feel like I need to really collect more further on, because, you know, there has to be a point where you have to, like, choose. Like, all right, man, I'm getting up there now. I gotta, like, find something else that I need to direct my attention to, because it can't just always be about games. So even now, I don't even play that much. I try to tackle the stuff that I really want to play, and that's it. So it's more like just a hobby nowadays, and the convenience of having, like, digital games on your Switch or whatever you could bring around and play. You don't got to carry all the cartridges with you. It's very convenient, but my solution to it is I still want to collect, but I am down with emulation. So if you own the game and then you want to have, like, your own emulated copy, I find that most of the times it's better to play on the emulation, because nowadays when you have, like, DuckStation and some of these, like, PPSPP, all these emulators now for some of the older generation consoles, they actually look way better when you play it upscaled into 1080 or even 4K if your computer can handle it. So I'm okay with that. Shoot. So I could own the game, fine, it looks good on the shelf, but I'd rather play it where it looks a lot better. So through emulation, and there's no consoles, no matter what you do to it, even if you got a console that you made it have an HDMI and all that stuff, it's still not gonna look as good as the emulation. So that's my thing on it. At the same time, I'm not too worried about things going extinct, because I feel like companies like Red Art Games and Special Limited Run, they're gonna step up, and maybe a few other people are gonna step up and just put out physical copies of games eventually, especially stuff like people really want. I feel like when it goes all digital, Limited Run is gonna probably become a big old company. You know, they're gonna start producing a lot of that stuff for the collectors. I mean, why not? It's free money anyways. But if they want to gouge for the physicals, I feel like that's not cool. Like, if they feel like, oh, you know, like, people are collectors and they want to, like, just spend, like, you know, they want to take advantage of collectors because, you know, they still want to collect physicals, and they want to, like, start just making their own packaging and, you know, charging up the ass for it. I don't agree with that, but I feel like there will still be opportunities to get physical copy games. But that's really depends on if you really believe, you know, those little side companies that make these physicals, if you consider those to be actually real games or not. So there's a divide on that. So for me, I would probably only just buy the stuff I really want, but the rest, they can go digital for all I care. I don't need to own everything, just the stuff that I really want, you know. Anyways, so that's my thought on the whole physical and digital thing. It's not great, you know, but it's not that bad either, at least for me. So there it is.